Oh, that's really good. I knew I liked these. There's so much umami, sort of savoury flavour in there. Ta-da! Hello everybody, welcome back to Veg Plot. We're on our third tomato taste test, I believe, this week. I've got some real crackers for you. Some of them here I've been sort of dying to grow for several years. And say we've got 7 this week. I was trying to only have 6, but the thing is I've got to pick them and taste them when they're ready, i.e. not wait, otherwise we might not have all of the ones that we need to look at. So anyway, so we've got 7 today, so we'll quickly flick over to the tomato table and I'll show you what we've got. The first one we're going to be tasting this week is Tumbling Tom, and that's this one here. Now I've got some images of Tumbling Tom. If I just flick over to this screen, this is it. I've got them growing in hanging baskets, and they were growing in the polytunnel until, I don't know, about a week or 2 ago, and I really just got fed up with them. They just get too big for the space that I've got in there. But they are really, they grow really well. So the Tumbling Tom, these, compared to the next one we had on the list, which was Tumbling Tigress, basically do dry out a lot quicker, and the tomatoes aren't particularly big, but yeah, they do have quite a few on them. So that's them. That's Tumbling Tom. That's this one here. Now the next one along, that's this one we've got, is Tumbling Tigress, and this is an F1 tomato. So if we quickly flick over to here, I'll show you what that one looks like. Again, it's growing in a hanging basket now, hanging outside. It has more tomatoes on, and being an F1, I think it's just generally a stronger plant. They don't lose so much water, they don't go yellow so quick, they've got bigger, healthier fruits on. So if you're looking for a little tomato to grow in a hanging basket, you could try this. I don't really enjoy actually growing hanging baskets, I've realised, just because I'm fearful of blight, to be honest. I'm worried because they're outside they're going to get blight. There's no room for them indoors, but I mean, if you've got space, then obviously they're good. I think next year what I do is probably grow them in big tubs and containers, and that means also that I won't have to water them as often. Anyway, right, back to the tomato table. Now this one I showed you last week. This is Black Krim, and I've got these growing in the polytunnel. Let's have a quick look, see if we've got a picture of that, video of that. So there's quite a few on the trusses, not particularly large this year. I think we've had quite a cold year. They haven't been very, have been growing big. I think they were bigger last year. Although, no, lovely colour, lovely rich maroon colour. So I'm looking forward to this. This was picked a little while ago. It's been in the studio ripening up. So I'm hoping that it's going to be really tasty. It's got that sort of soft squidginess to it. Right, the next one, let's have a look over here. The next one is quite a large tomato. This is Captain Lucky, and this is a new one for me. I haven't grown this before. I think I've got some video over here of it, if I click the right one. They're much bigger tomatoes and quite a few on the trusses. They're looking quite good. This one I had to cut off with the scissors, but yeah, this is it a few days ago. Slightly greener. It's ripened up now in the studio. As you can see, I planted them or sowed them in March. But yeah, really nice looking tomato this. So that's Captain Lucky. The next one we've got, this one here, this is Sart Roloise. And I've been desperate to grow this one for ages. I think I saw the seeds first off on She Grows Veg with Lucy ages ago on Instagram. And since then I've been thinking, yeah, I really want to try that. A lot of other people have grown it too. They say it's very fruity and got a sort of sweet tropical flavour. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's just see. I think I've got a bit of video, sort of upright video. So I've got 2 plants, one behind the other here. This isn't the one we're eating. That one's still on the vine. But yeah, they've got this lovely sort of purple and yellow colouring. It sort of reminds me of pineapple. So I'm kind of hoping that's what they taste like. I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, you see there's quite a lot of tomatoes there. Right, next one. Now this one here, this really big one, and we'll have some close-ups looks at it at the moment, is the one I've been looking forward to for ages. It's called Ananas Noire, which implies it's sort of ananas. Is that sort of pineapple? I'm not sure anyway. But yeah, I'll show you some pictures I've got, which I've got on Google here. Look at the colour of them. This is Carmel Bella Farm, and this is where I first saw them online on Instagram. The lady there who follows them, but also, they're just completely stunning tomatoes. Yeah, really gorgeous looking. So yeah, I've got high hopes for that one, and that again has been off the vine for a while. I think I've got some video here. See lots of tomatoes, quite profuse. This one again, I'd cut this one off because it was quite hard to remove. This was a few days ago, so it's been in the studio ripening up. You can see it's quite green there on the base, but yeah, it's nice and squidgy and soft now, so I'm really looking forward to this one. And last but not least, we've got an old favourite which I've grown. I grew 2 years in a row, then I had a break from it last year. I think the seeds didn't germinate or something. But this is pink Berkeley Tie Dye, and it's a real favourite. Some really lovely flavours in this tomato, and it produces masses as well. Really worth trying if you haven't grown them before. It's got this beautiful sort of green and red striping to it. Good sized tomatoes as well. Yeah, really nice. I think the year before last mine were really huge, so they were really delicious as well. Anyway, right, so they are the 7 tomatoes I've got for you this week. Bit of an introduction. So what I'll do is I'll just move these off the table. Okay, so the first one that we've got is this one, and this, we switch over here, this is the little Tumbling Tom. Just a tiny little tomato. It's much, it's noticed it was, wrong way, it was redder. Let's focus. It was more orange in the video, so you can see it's ripened up nicely. Yeah, so let's give this a try. Okay, so just same as usual, pop it in the middle, cut it through the middle. Looks quite juicy, quite firm skin it was, so I'll just pop that bit there, bring you over here. Yeah, it's quite juicy, small, but like a traditional tomato. I'm not expecting much from this, to be honest. I expect it's just going to be a pretty average standard sort of thing that you'd get from the supermarket. But anyway, let's give it a try. Actually, that's really quite nice. That's got a bit of an acid twang. It was quite sweet as well. The skin is quite thick, so a bit chewy and crunchy. And there was like a hint of pineapple in it. So yeah, that's quite nice. It's not the most amazing tomato obviously in the world, and I do like the larger heirlooms, but if you want to grow a hanging basket tomato, this might be one to try. Okay, right, let's get on with the next one. Now this one, switch over, this is the Tumbling Tigress. Now on the plants, when you pick them, they have sort of a bit of a striping to them, so this one's obviously changed, it's ripened up. So let's just open this up. Tumbling Tigress. Again, another very small cherry. That was softer on the skin. And yeah, you can see a difference on this one. This has got sort of a more green inside, more green gel. But yeah, standard sort of red otherwise. Right, let's just put that down there. And we'll give this a try. So yeah, this is Tumbling Tigress. It's an F1 cherry. Okay, that's softer. Skin is not as crunchy. It's not as acidic. Hasn't got any sweetness to it. It's okay. It's a bit plain. I'd say that actually the Tumbling Tom, this one over here, this has more flavour to it. And so yeah, the Tumbling Tigress, although F1 and the plants were healthier, I'm not actually sure. Yeah, don't rate that one quite as much. It's okay, but it's just pretty average. Right, next one. Right, we're going up in size. So yeah, this is the black Krim. Lovely looking tomato, slightly darker on the shoulders, nice and red and dark maroon colour. It's slightly squidgy, so I'm hoping it's got its full flavour profile. Right, we'll flick you over and then cut this through the middle. It's very soft, and if you can see. So we'll just cut through here, very juicy. Look that. Yeah, that's quite nice. Quite dark and rich colours to this one. So it's dripping everywhere. It's very juicy. So yeah, I need to get it in front of my face, otherwise it doesn't focus. But look at the colour of those wonderful seeds. There's gel around there. It's very dark green, emerald colour almost. And then the flesh is this very rich maroon colouring. Looks like a regular tomato, apart from that. Right, let's just cut a piece off. And we'll see what this is like. Okay, that's hard to describe. It's got a really nice flavour to it. It's kind of rich. There might be a bit of umami in there. It's not particularly sour, not particularly sweet. It's got sort of something different about it. I think potentially I may need to eat the rest of this half because I think there wasn't quite enough flavour in that. So we'll just get this. I'll just show you it close up. Yeah, really nice looking. That's kind of weird. No, it's not what you want to hear. It's not really sharp. It's not really sweet. I don't know what the flavour is. It's not particularly tomatoey. But no, this is quite nice, but it's unusual. So I think if you want to try something that's unusual, a bit different, then yeah, I think black Krim might be worth a go. I would enjoy this, I think. Yeah, this is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. And I think my description is doing a bit disjustice, actually. Anyway, right, let's get on with the next one. Captain Lucky, this beautiful looking tomato. I mean, look at it. It's like one of those big, meaty sort of tomatoes, chunky sort of big apple size. Really, really good. Lovely colours, sort of olive colouring on the shoulders, dripping or merging down the sides, blending into this lovely red and maroon colours. So right, let's give this a cut open, shall we, and see what it's like. Right, so again, we'll just cut right through the middle. Very soft skin, very juicy. Yeah, let's do the big reveal, shall we? Ah, look at that. Look at the lovely colours on that. I'll just bring you up to this main screen, but look at those. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's got that lovely rich veining, pinky red veining in the middle, going out to this beautiful green, and then the red around the skin edges. Look how dark that is. That's a real sort of like I think I've described this sort of tomato before as like a gourmet tomato, but look at the quality of that. That's stunning. Right, put that half down there and we'll cut a slice off and we'll see what it's like. Very soft to cut through, very soft indeed. Just straighten that up. Right, bring this over here just to show you what it's like. Yeah, beautiful colours on the slice too. Look at that. Very nice. Right, let's give it a try. Right, interesting. Umami, grass flavours, not sweet, not sharp and acidic, kind of quite sort of mild, but it's got that sort of umami flavour, that sort of savoury flavour. It's not particularly strong. I've had it stronger in other tomatoes. The flesh is very soft. It's the skin is a little crunchy. Let's just try a little bit more. There is a little sweetness and a little sharpness. It's very pleasant. It's a very nice tomato. This would go really nicely on, you know, sourdough and so on and so forth. Toasted sourdough, garlic and cheese, like I've mentioned before. Actually, I've got some pictures of that. I'll try and bring them up in a moment. Right, so that was Captain Lucky, and now we're heading on to the realms of my dream tomatoes. So this is Sart Roloise, and look how beautiful this tomato is. They've got this lovely sort of purple shoulders on it and anthocyanin on the top, but look at the colours on that. Isn't that glorious? And the way it catches the light. Now this has been off the vine for a few days and here in the studio sort of ripening up. It's got that lovely little squidgy feeling to it, but because I haven't grown it before, I'm not quite sure if it's 100% ripe or not. So this might taste brilliant or it might not, I don't know. So anyway, let's cut it open and have a quick look. So again, we'll cut it through the middle. Very soft skin, firmer in the center, so but feels very juicy. It feels like I'm cutting through a nectarine or something. Right, look at that, isn't that lovely? Gorgeous looking. Right, we'll put that bit over there. It's dripping everywhere. It's very juicy, but yeah, look at that. So this is Sart Roloise. It's got that sort of pineapple colouring, hasn't it? This sort of yellow colouring, but very juicy. Not many seeds. Quite a firm looking tomato, really fleshy. So let's cut a bit off this and we'll see what this is like. I'll try and have a decent taste of this one. I always think that these sort of yellower tomatoes have this real tropical look to it. I mean, it looks like it's a piece of nectarine, doesn't it? Or pineapple or something like that. It looks delicious. So right, I'm really looking forward to this. That's nice. It's soft, juicy. It sort of melts in the mouth. It's not a flavour explosion. Like the first video, if you go back and watch that, the taste test this year, we've got Alice's Dream and Lucid Gem. Those really knock your socks off, those flavours do. Absolutely delicious. But this, yeah, it's nice, but it's slightly more mild. I'm going to have another bit because I can't pick up any of the sort of flavours that other people talk about, like the pineapples and things. So let's try it again. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the most amazing flavour I've ever had. I wouldn't say no to it, and it, again, like a slice, I think it would go really, really well on toast and things like sourdough, but it's definitely not as strong. It's not a top one contender, so I don't know whether it's just not as ripe as it could be. Maybe I should try this side with the anthracene, and maybe there's more flavour in that. Maybe it adds some flavour. But I'll just quickly do that. Actually, yes, I think there is a little more flavour in that, in the top half of it. It's definitely got more fruity flavour in it. It's not amazing, as I say, but it's nice. It's definitely a slicer, and definitely would go on a bit of toast or sourdough really nicely, but not the strongest flavouring I've had out of all the tomatoes we've tasted so far. Right, let's move on to this beautiful tomato now. This is bigger than the Captain Lucky and Sart Roloise. This is Ananas Noire, and this is, look at the size of it, look at the colours on it. Isn't it gorgeous? Stunning. The beautiful reds and maroons on the top, the olives and emerald greens there. Gorgeous. Really looking forward to this. And as I say, this is the one that we've got here. So I'm not sure I'm going to get those sort of colours that you can see there on the right. I wonder if they've been punched up a bit, but maybe slightly different variety. Anyway, let's cut this open and we'll have a look. It's quite big, isn't it? It's quite large. So yeah, let's switch over to the table and we'll cut this open and have a look. So it's very soft skin, very thick, not difficult to cut through, but very chunky it feels like. Now let's see what it's like in the middle. Ah, there we go. Beautiful colouring. Anyway, let's put that one down there. Bring you over here. Now look at that. I think these are more true colourings. Now this is lovely, isn't it? It's greener. If I flick over to that camera again, it's definitely not the same as that one. That's a much darker green and pinky red. I'd love to get some of those seeds. But yeah, this is nice nonetheless. In fact, if I pick up the Captain Lucky, I can put them side by side. This is the Captain Lucky, this one here. Much darker colouring, isn't it, around the edges? This is much greener and more olive. So, looks good, juicy. Let's give it a test. So we'll cut a bit off the edge. I'll show you what it looks like. Nice, beautiful colours, really beautiful colours. Right, let's give it a taste. That's nice. That's sort of got fruity flavours. It's very soft, melts in the mouth, very juicy, got fruity flavours, slight umami. the sort of grassy sort of taste when you bite up the skin, which is quite soft. It's a very nice tomato. Again, not as flavour packed as Alice's Dream or Lucid Gem, but it really is. It's a very nice tomato. I might just have another little bit just to check if I'm missing anything. Yeah, it's got a bit of acid twang to it. It's not really any sweetness. It's sort of umami, and then like on the sides of your tongues you get that sort of savoury acid flavour which kind of lingers after you've eaten it. So it's definitely a taste in the mouth afterwards. So that's very nice. That's good. We'll bring in the last one, which is the pink Berkeley Tie Dye. Now the colouring on this is exquisite, dark, rich olive, emeraldy green. It's a really thick, or forest green almost, and these pink sort of reds, maroon sort of stripings. Decent sized tomato. I say I've had them bigger, but yeah, let's cut this open, see what it's like. So just cut this again down through the middle. It's nice and soft. And we'll open that up. Ah, look at that, beautiful. That's a really rich red, dark maroon mahogany colours. Really nice, juicy, not too many seeds, but yeah, looking good. So we'll put that piece down there and we'll cut a bit off. So we're running out of room here a bit. Cut a little bit off here. And we'll give this a try. So very juicy, quite firm, no seeds in that bit, but very nice. Right, let's try it. Oh, that's really good. I knew I liked these. There's so much umami, sort of savoury flavour in there. It's meaty, juicy, soft, melts in the mouth. There's no bitterness. It's a bit of sharpness, so you've had a tomato. It's a tomatoey taste, but it's got that lingering umami flavour. Really nice. I think this week this is probably the favourite one of all of them. Look at the colours on that. So this is pink Berkeley Tie Dye. I think there's a green Berkeley Tie Dye. You have to correct me if I'm wrong, but this is really good. Pink Berkeley Tie Dye. I know a lot of you tried it after the first couple of years that I had it, and it was really, very popular. So yeah, I would say if we're going to grade them today on what I've had, I would say it's this one, which is pink Berkeley Tie Dye. That's number one. If we go round, start this end, shall we? So pink Berkeley Tie Dye, and then I think Captain Lucky. Then I would say we had Ananas Noire, and then we had Sart Roloise. This was nice. This was black Krim. Tumbling Tigress, not particularly much to it, to be honest. So I'd put that last. So yeah, that's the order of them this week. Yeah, so yeah. As I say, as always, I shall put these on a little note on my website. I think what I've done, if I can reach here on the desk, I've made a note of the last two that we've done, test 1 and test 2. These are the results from them. I wanted to show you, actually, but see if I can just find it. Yeah, just flick you over. So here, this is how you want to eat tomatoes like this. These lovely heirloom tasty tomatoes. This is Alice's Dream. You can see sliced up. So basically all it is it's got some toasted homemade bread, which you rub on a piece of garlic, and then you put on some melted salted butter. Not melted, just put it on and it melts. Slices tomato, sprinkle over some salt, and then a sprinkling of Parmesan cheese. But you can see up there in the top left hand corner I made some homemade sauce as well from tomatoes with garlic and basil and vinegar and things. And I'm doing a little video on that very soon because it's delicious. I made 2 jars of it and put it into the fridge, and it's really, really nice. I'm going to share the recipe and how I did that with you up on the website at some point. Okay, right, from the tomato table, this week's tomatoes. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed that, and we've probably got about one more taste test to do, I think. Yeah, and then that'll be it for this year. So hope you're enjoying the little series. If you are, please feel free to share the videos and do like and subscribe because it all helps the channel. Okay, see you soon.